can't. Oh, ah. Well, welcome back, everyone, to the Great Ice Eternity Part 8. I think. Yes. So what happened the last time? Last time we managed to get the innocent. Yeah, we managed to make our client not guilty. And afterwards we were invited to live with... I wanted to say Hudson, but that's not his name. with Watson and stuff. And that's where we'll continue. I only remember that we also have a dinner later on. Yeah, we'll live in the attic room of Holmes. All right, that's his name, Sholmes. Right, we are going to live with Sholmes and Watson now. Wilson, Iris, whatever name we will use in the future. And this is basically just the epilogue of episode 4, and we will basically start episode 5. Which is why I also chose the appropriate title for it. 20 February, 4 p.m. attic room. It's pretty early. Pretty spacious too. So this is to be our new office, yes. Our office? I rather like the sound of that. Me too, it's simply wonderful, isn't it? Is it now? Yeah, last time I had to make a run, so I couldn't see the epilogue. That's why we're catching up to that now. Yeah, I hope you can see this, Kazuma. It's only a small step. But I would like to think we are getting a little closer to your dream now. I really hope so. So, my dear fellows, do you like the place? Oh, without his jacket now. This is unexpected. He actually looks handsome now. Ah, Mr. Sholmes. Yes, thank you so much. It's a delightful room, Mr. Sholmes. I simply adore it. Good. I'm pleased to hear it. Iris and I are delighted to welcome you. I hope everyone's hungry. It's nearly time for dinner. We'll eat as soon as Mr. Natsume arrives. We have a lot to celebrate. Oh, Mr. Natsume, please. Please. Don't die. You're definitely innocent. You don't have anything to be guilty of, so please don't die. Iris, Iris, you must let me help you. Alright then, Susie. Susie? You can be in charge of the salad. Splendid. Right. Salad, huh? I hope we don't get British food to eat. Doesn't have a good reputation. So, Mr. Naruto, how does it feel? You have your own office in the capital? Very exciting, actually. Can't help but wonder what adventures await us. Ah ha 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 ha. Those were precisely my sentiments when I first established my office at these premises. And what are they now? Until I discovered the dark truth about the city of London, that is. Sorry? London is a glorious place full of wonder and opportunity, prosperity and mirth. But the brightest of lights casts the darkest of shadows. Shadows? What do you mean? Well, I believe you are well aware of the murkiness that lies behind London's facade already. Kinda? So, once again, Mr. Naruto? Oh, stylish. Welcome to London. Man, I can't get over... Well, I can't kinda accept serious Holmes. So weird, I like his quirky side more. Because when he's serious, then it means this is serious business. And that's usually not a good thing. Of course, at the time, I had no idea of the significance of those words Mr. Sholmes so casually spoke. But it wasn't long before my turn came. To lift the facade and see the true depth of the murk that lay behind it. I guess that's the 5th case then. Yeah, right, that was really short. I should have done that the last time, but I didn't know if it would be like 5 minutes or 15 minutes, and I couldn't afford 15 minutes. Oh, let's just see that as the intro. to the next chapter. The adventure of an unspeakable story. Oh no, the Hound of the Baskervilles. Now this will be a dark case then. A hound it was, but not such a hound as any mortal has ever seen. Its eyes glowed with a smoldering glare. The whole of its ox-sized body was outlined in white hot flames. So... an evil dog? Ooh.
来たぞ。ホームズの鋭い声が濃い霧の壁の向こうから聞こえてきた。私は霧のまとわりつく拳銃の撃鉄を起こして息を潜めて待った。永遠とも思える静寂、そしてその瞬間は突然訪れた。霧の中から見たこともない巨大な獣が私の目の前に躍り出たのだ。それは確かに犬だった。しかし明らかに尋常ではなかった。目はこうこうと燃え上がり、猛牛ほどもある体躯に獰猛な青白い炎をまとっている。血を這うような息遣いとうなり声、私はあまりの恐怖に震え上がった。見たまえワトソン、ホームズは魔獣を見据えて言い放った。こいつこそバスカビル家に代々語り継がれる伝説の魔剣なのだ。
Beautifully written, Iris. I guess the intros are basically the home story. And, well, in this universe at least, we will play the truth of this word. Our first 2 months in London passed by in a flash. Well, it's been 2 months, that means Natsume is alive, right? Right? In that disconcerting courtroom experience we were first thrown into on the day we arrived in the country, and in Suzuki-san's terrible ordeal that had followed closely behind, we had emerged victorious. However, there then came an abrupt end to our opportunities to appear in court, which was hardly surprising, of course, since I was nothing more than an amateur, an unknown student of law from a faraway land. So life in our little office was very quiet. That is, until it was shattered one day by that fateful telegram. Am I going to lose my job? Oh wow, we actually have an official office. Oh. That morning, I was woken by the unreserved knocking on the door by the telegram boy. But after he had gone, Sato-san's behavior became very obviously strange. Oh, she has a cute desk at least. And mine is just chaotic. Hey, San. Susato-san? Yes. Is it time to leave for court already? Let me see, what case is it today? I don't think I'm scheduled to defend anyone at the moment, am I? Oh, no, of course not. How silly of me. But I think Iris said she would make us breakfast this morning. So, shall we go down to Mr. Sholmes' suit? Yes. Iris makes the most delicious breakfast food. Breakfast food? Well, it's what? She does, doesn't she? And once our bellies are full, we can leave for court and fight with form. Well, we don't have a case, though. Let me see, what case is it today? Here we go again. So Sato-san is going crazy. Because of a lack of court presence, I guess. What was the telegram? So... what was it about? The telegram that was delivered this morning, I mean. Oh, a telegram? I don't know what you're talking about. What? She's lying straight into my face while we are living in the same space? Sorry, but you're not going to get away with that. Well, I didn't think I would. What do you mean? What were you trying to do? Actually, don't give it a moment's thought. It's nothing interesting. Boring in fact. Was it just a boring old telegram? That's 3 times now that she's tried and failed to convince me it was nothing. Yeah, I'm going to lose my job, Sand. I promise that I'll tell you about it at some point. Alright, I understand. I suppose Soseki-san will have arrived back in Japan by now, won't he? Oh, thank God he's alive. Yes, I should think so. He left immediately after that terrible ordeal. Which would mean he should have completed a voyage already, or be just a few days away. A fortnight ago we had that very long telegram from him, do you remember? Complaining of seasickness. But by and large, it seems the voyage has been going well. Is something wrong, Naruto-san? I was just wondering what might have become of Suzuki-san had he stayed in London, that's all. You mean, as regards Lord Van Zieks, the Reaper? Yes, I can't help but wondering if seasickness would have paled into insignificance in that case. What is it they say? That no one who stands with a dog can be saved from the Reaper, right? Like the way that nightmarish trial ended on the very day we arrived in London. Even 2 months on, the cause of that dread fire is still a mystery. Yes, but at least Soseki-san is safely out of the country now, presumably that means. That the curse of a Reaper can only take effect within the confines of the city of London, perhaps? Even if that's the case, it's a little comfort. I have a terrible sense of foreboding. The legend of a Reaper is to be believed. It would mean he wields the sword of justice himself. Come to think of it, I wonder what he's been up to these past 2 months. Surely not wielding that sword against more acquitted defendants. No, I don't think so. Apparently Lord Van Zieks hasn't appeared in court once since our last encounter. Oh? Yes, since Soseki-san's trial, he's withdrawn from judicial service again, it seems. Really? Just like before, when he wasn't seen in court at all for several years. So it's just been me who's had to face him in his recent spate of trials then? Ugh, just my luck. I wonder if luck doesn't come into it. I totally botched her voice. I have no idea how she sounds like anymore. Sorry, what was that? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that wasn't luck. I'm pretty sure someone pulled the strings for that. Oh, nothing, never mind. Yeah, I'm totally buttering it. For now, let's go get some breakfast. 15 April? We don't save a time. Morning, Bruno. Morning, Susie. Good morning, Iris. Who's playing Violet? Iris? What is it, Bruno? What is that terrible noise? It sounds like a cat being strangled. Ah, yes. You noticed that, did you? I guess he can't play the violin. Harley is in the best form from this morning, it seems. Sholmes is depressed? I never thought I would ever see that. Hello. Hello, Mr. Sholmes. Good morning. Oh my god, are you okay? Good morning to die, perhaps. Has something happened, Mr. Sholmes? You look miserable, and the way you were playing the violin before. My analytical mind is dead. Music is dead. The word is dead. Yeah, that's how I sound like in the morning too. Damn this blanched existence. That's all it is, my dear fellow. Nothing of consequence. Well, there's a lot of consequences, but I'll just ignore that for now. I'm afraid I don't understand. Well, Iris, isn't it time we ate? Some dry toast and insipid coffee for me, if it's not too much trouble. Meow? We've got a cat, I guess. Oh look, it's Wagahai. Wagahai? Good morning, boy. Meow. Don't tell me you will be a witness in court. Now that would be something. It must be some sort of tiny door for cats to use. But how did it get in here? Well then, everyone, time for breakfast. Oh, wonderful. Let me help you, Iris. It would indeed be a fine day to die. Ah, yeah, I knew something looked different. Something's missing from Mr. Sholm's desks. What is missing? I have no idea. You okay, buddy? You seem to be very unhappy with morning, Mr. Sholmes. What's happened? It used to be in the case, right in my hands. This violent song like the dawn curse, its medicine and tones would make flowers bloom. It would? But now the muses are unamused with me. The goddess of music have thrown me over. Okay. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? For hours I have bowed, for days even, through the night I have endeavored to no veil. That sound, my tone, is lost. The brilliant, clear, unwavering tone. Gone forever, no more recitals of unbridled emotion. What? What is he talking about? Well, you haven't been practicing much lately, have you, Hurley? Don't worry, I'm sure it will come back to you in time. Heed my words, Mr. Nadodo. The goddess of arts are fickle. One day they bestow genius on a man, the next they unmercifully withdraw it. Oh dear. Ah, why is this happening to me? If they take the turn I have for the violin from me, what is left for pity's sake? What's left? Well, yeah, you're right, there's nothing left for you at least. Deduction perhaps? Is that what you're known for? We ignore that for now. Mr. Sholmes, I don't like to pry, but... Your desk looks rather empty today. Ah, well done, Mr. Sato. Your observational skills do you credit. Oh no, Mr. Sholmes, they pale into insignificance when compared to yours. You'd struggle not to notice, wouldn't you? You mean Hurley's great analytical? That's at Windy Banks now. Sorry, it's at Windy Bank? No. Windy Banks. Yeah. The pawnbrokery. Pawn? What? Is he broke? You mean you've pawned off that enormous machine of yours? It has some considerable value, see, quite undeservingly. But isn't it a very important machine for your work? I do wish you had consulted us if your situation had become so desperate. I should have gladly passed what little income we have to you. Do we have income? Dear madam, things are far from desperate. But the pawnbroker has your wonderful machine. How can it be anything but desperate? Making use of a pawnbroker is quite ordinary here in London, I assure you. It is? It doesn't sound ordinary at all. It would seem that neither of you fully understand how pawnbroking works. Oh, what's to understand exactly? Sure, how does it work? What do you mean when you said we didn't fully understand how pawnbroking works? To the people of London, pawnbrokeries are akin to banks. Banks? On Mondays, merchants relinquish their finest jackets and trappings to their pawnbroker of choice. Of the money they receive in return, they are able to trade happily through the week. And then on Saturdays, they go to recover their things using the money they have earned. I had no idea this has been a fascinating lesson for us. Everyone does it, you see, especially people in inner London. And should they have money to spare, they would purchase another fine jacket. Not to wear, obviously, but to pawn should the need arise. Oh, how ingenious. So whenever we have something that's getting in the way, we leave it at Windybanks, you see? A pawnbrokery can be thought of as an extremely secure vault. Who would have thought that even pawnbrokers are different here in Great Britain? Of course, if you have to watch Hurley with it. Sometimes he pawns things we really shouldn't. Don't you, Hurley? So he accidentally put it in the bank. What does it matter? The word is dead to me now. Alright, but the word is kinda dead to him, huh? I guess we should examine it? Look at Mr. Schaumsack, it's completely clear. Isn't that enormous machine usually on it? We can never hope to understand what goes on with that great detective's mind, Mr. Narado. Next time we're invited, we may find he's vacated the entire suit. Well, that's bad. That's scarily plausible, actually. Well... That's new too, right? The VR. Ah yes, the letters V and R inscribed on wall in bullet holes. Isn't it the initials of a queen or something? It's so delightful to see it in the flesh, having read about it in the story. It was so inspiring. I fired 100 arrows into my own war at home to make the characters of Susato. You what? Okay. Super? But perhaps there are some things the great detective does that you don't need to copy? Ah, Subarashi, maybe. So, Iris. What about the cat, I guess? Mr. Natsume's cat seems to have settled into his new home then. Oh, it's Soseki-san's cat. Okay, that makes sense. Oh yes, and I've become very attached to his little waggy. Huh. It would appear his previous owners completely forgotten to him. Cats are unfeeling creatures. Their muse as empty as the heart of a muses. If Mr. Natsume had no intention of taking Waggy back to Japan, I wonder why he kept him in the first place. I expect he would have taken him if he could. The pets are strictly forbidden aboard steamship in our experience. And for good reason, terrible things can happen if the rules of passage are not obeyed. Oh yeah, right, Kazuma kinda... got kid that way. Well, I don't mind because Waggy is adorable. Meow. Yes, he really is. Yes. What about the door? I don't remember seeing that tiny thing in the main door before. Where did that come from? Oh, you noticed? You're observant, Runo. Look, I used this. It's my latest invention. What is that? I call it the cat flapper-man. Gosh, a machine for making doors just for cats? That's right, it can make a cat flap for a little furry friend like Waggy in seconds. And it can do it in any door at all, no matter what it's made of. It's very powerful, you see. Wouldn't it have been, you know, quicker just to make the cat flap rather than making a machine to make the cat flap? Well, yes, maybe, but now I can make cat flaps any way I like. Oh, I think it's wonderful. You must make one for us in the door for our office upstairs, Iris. She really knows how to come up with unconventional inventions, this girl. Right, let's just eat breakfast, shall we? Oh, what was that? Wagaha? Kitty! Is he okay? What was that? Oh no! Bug Eyes hanging up on your violin! Oh no. It got even worse. I think he thinks it's a toy. Right, No! What's he doing to it? Boy, controller, don't just disconnect. Oh dear, Mr. Shaw's precious violin. Oh no, violins are very expensive, guys. You should care, it's so much money. Why should I care? What? I shouldn't be surprised. If a cat is a more accomplished musician than I know. Is that how it works now? Mr. Trump's really is in poor spirits, isn't he? Well, anyway, I'll put it back where it lives, shall I, really? Out of a cat's reach if possible. Maybe we should assess the damage. Sure, let's assess the damage. Looks fine to me. Never mind, the string is broken. So this is the violin, is it? It's a Stradivarius, one of the finest violins in the world, made by the renowned Italian luthier, Antonio Stradivari. Oh, I see. It doesn't really look like anything special to me. That's because you have no idea about violins. I happened upon it covered in dust and languishing in a pawn shop down a nondescript back alley. The broker had no idea of its value, so I was able to purchase it for a mere 55 shillings. How honorable of you. And until today it has been my faithful companion in every great Paganini-inspired performance I have made. I ask you, is there a reason to live in a world devoid of music? To tolerate this blanched existence? No. There's none. Is that how it works now? Mr. Sholmes. What, dear madam? What? My thoughts are preoccupied with fancies of release from this dull routine. Well, it's about the violin. It looks very different to normal, don't you think? What do you mean, Miss Susato? Oh, Susie's right. Yes, the tone of wood is completely different. And that's not it, not at all. I'm sure there was no crack here before. Wait, it's not even the right size, is it? What's this? What? He didn't notice his violin was changed out? I'm terribly sorry to have to tell you this, Mr. Sholmes, but that instrument isn't a violin at all. Then what? I believe it's an entirely different instrument called a viola. You okay? Oh, Mr. Sholmes, are you alright? You're right. You're quite right. This isn't my favorite Stradivarius. So what, pray? Is this piece of stringed flotsam not your favorite performing partner, then? Ah, I see. What must have happened? You do, Iris? This is just a simple mix-up. Sounds like Iris might be able to tell us exactly what happened here if we ask her. Okay, we gotta examine her, I guess. So, tell us, Iris, what happened? What do you mean by a mix-up, Iris? Well, you see, this violin... Sorry, this viola, I mean... was at Windy Banks until last week. At the pawnbrokers? Not Mr. Sholmes' beloved musical partner. There's a proverb from the East with which you are no doubt familiar, my dear fellows. Always let the beloved child travel. Yes, indeed. So you sent your beloved violin to the pawnbrokers in the hope that it would experience a personal growth? Oh, what a wonderful idea! No, it's not! Last week I pawned in my great analytoscope in order to release my precious instrument. But it would appear Mr. Windybanks mistakenly furnished me with his taut-dry fiddle instead. How the fuck did you not notice that this is not your violin? But my ears cannot be deceived by the hollow timbre of this piece of timber. No, but your every sense was deceived by the fact that it had just had strings. Pshaw, a fine state of affairs this is, and why I always say, Mr. Nardo, never trust a pawnbroker, they will try to fiddle you every time. Then why did you give it to them? But earlier you told us that you could think of a pawnbroker as an extremely secure vault. Well, what's the plan now? Come, Mr. Nardo. Dilly-dallying will get you nowhere. Sorry? Crunching your toes with that vacant aspect, pressing your coffee so obtusely. Are you not a little embarrassed by your own conduct, considering the urgency with which we are faced? Must visit Mr. Windybanks' brokery at once. That's right, isn't it, Mr. Sholmes? Precisely, Mr. Sato. Without a moment's delay. But I haven't finished my bacon and eggs. My dear fellows, surely you do not still intend to crunch your bacon with an increasingly vacant aspect, to press your egg ever more obtusely. Alright, say no more. Let's go then. Don't worry, Runa, I'll be happy to heat it up for you again later. Oh, thank you, Iris. I was already feeling bad about that, but you made me feel better. As it happens, I'm rather curious to see what a British pawnbroker looks like. I guess we're moving out. Baker Street, why would we go there though? Well, we want to go to the pawn shop, so we'll go to the pawn shop first. So this is a British pawnbrokery. It looks like a treasure place. Oh my, there are all sorts of tools and contraptions in here, but I've never laid eyes on before. Ah, Susato-san, and that spark of wonder in your eyes. You can't wait to scour the shelves, can you? I get the impression you enjoy places like this. Oh yes, I don't know why, but seeing such a lot of things I don't understand is a real thrill for me. Strong curiosity, huh? My dear fellows, let us not forget why we are here. Oh, Mr. Sholmes. We are calling on matters of business, not pleasure. And clearly Mr. Sholmes means business too, judging from the sparks of fury in his eyes. Ah, Mr. Sholmes, sir, welcome back. Did you hear that brazen welcome? Well, yes, we are potential customers of it all. We are disgruntled customers, Mr. Naruto, and it's time to inform Mr. Windybank of our ire. Come, this fight is afoot. Sure. Hey! Naturally, you will recall this, which I retrieved from you some days ago. Yes. The second-rate fiddle is not my favorite instrument, Mr. Windybank. The color of the wood is different, it has holes in it. It's not even the same size. A wonderful summary of our observation, Mr. Sholmes. I'm so very sorry, sir. How utterly unforgivable of me. An inexcusable mistake for a pawnbroker. There's only one way to make amends. Run away? Huh? I shall have to take my own life. What? I don't think that will be necessary, do you? If I may just say one thing before I pop up. Yes? It was you, sir, Mr. Sholmes, who took it upon himself to remove the item the other day, I believe. Sorry. As I recall, I entered the storeroom to fetch your violin when I heard... Ah, here it is! You did? And when I returned to controvert you, you had taken the viola and left, sir. However, there can be no doubt that the blame lies firmly at my own door for allowing you to leave. So I shall not grumble or bruise any longer. May the guilt die with me. No, no, stop, my dear fellow, the fault is mine. Oh, Sholmes, you're an idiot, aren't you? Phew. It would appear that the fight is over. I do humbly apologize, Mr. Winniebank. Evidently, my questionable disposition precipitated this tragedy. Oh, you wouldn't be Herlock Sholmes without that. Questionable disposition now, would you? Haha, I do believe you may be right, sir. Don't laugh about that. It's either laugh or cry, I suppose. You are, it must be said, one of my more challenging customers. I needn't remind you of a peculiar collection of items you brought through my door in the past. Oh, peculiar items? In the extreme, ma'am. For example, the unpolished manuscript of an eponymous work, the novels of Herlock Sholmes or some such. My new full-fledged novel? And unpublished? A story I've yet to read, you mean? Ah, forgive me! Wait! Before you die, you must tell me more. So you will let him die? Well, whatever. I must know more. Tell me everything. Well, Sato-san is really fired up now. Is there really an unpublished story under this very roof? Well, one day the gentleman he brought in an old metal chest, you see. I should like to entrust this to your care for a while, Mr. Winniebank. For a chest like that, on 1 shilling, sir, not a farthing more. It houses something of great value indeed. The latest manuscript, recounting the adventures of one Mr. Herlock Sholmes. I beg your pardon? A manuscript? You wish to deposit a manuscript? Indeed I do, for I am confident it will be quite safe here. And that was that. As such, Mr. Sholmes' latest tale of otherworldly mystery lies dormant in my storeroom. Mr. Sholmes, is that really true? Do I sense that someone doesn't want to talk about this? I continue to pay your fee, do I not? And kindly continue to store my belongings securely. Of course, sir, of course. But safe and sound with me, I assure you, on my life. This is all very strange. Just give me the damn violin, will you? Wonder, could I ask you something? Ah, gentleman from V's, I see. Yes, that saber suit. I suppose I could offer you 6 pence for it. Without wishing to offend, the tone is somewhat dull. Sorry? Aha, but for your splendid attire, ma'am, 5 guineas no less. The colors are exquisite, the design exotic. Eastern artistry at its finest, may I say. Oh my, 5 guineas, you say? How interesting. Why do you feel as though I've suffered some sort of defeat here? Actually, I was hoping to ask you about your business. I've heard it said that pawnbrokeries are used to revel like banks here in London. Yes, sir, indeed, and many of my customers utilize the establishment as you describe. Appraise the items and offer them a proportionate loan and 2 months of secure storage. If in that time they repay the original sum to me plus the agreed interest, the items are happily returned. But what happens if they don't pay you their money? Then the items are offered for sale in my shop, as you can see on the shelves behind me. So you never sell items before the 2 months has passed then? That's right, ma'am, that's right, which means some considerable responsibility rests on my shoulders. Should a customer precious belongings be lost, the only recompense is for me to end it all. The very idea, Mr. Winniebank, is an absurdity. One should never talk of one's demise so casually, says the man who was telling us oh, it was a good day to die only this morning. And let us not forget that I have already helped you take measures to ensure such tragedy never occurs. Oh, what sort of measures? I engineered a simple device which Mr. Winniebank has installed in his shop. I call it the red-handed recorder. Is that not so, Mr. Winniebank? What was that deep sigh about? What on earth is a red-handed recorder? Use your eyes, my dear fellow. There are two just below the ceiling. I can see what appears to be a camera attached to some sort of timing device. Where? Very astute. It is indeed a camera furnished with some 100 pieces of celluloid film. And every 30 minutes precisely, the camera automatically records the appearance of a shot. Here, I have an example I can show you. Sure. Looks pretty normal. Ah, yes, a print from camera set to record the activity at the shop counter. I developed a special type of film so sensitive it produces crystal clear image even in darkness. Really, that's extraordinary. Yes, you can see clearly the counter and the door behind it. Look. So, you see, were someone to enter the premise with ill intent, his identity would be summarily exposed. But did you not say that the photographic prints were taken at 30-minute intervals? Indeed, as you say, my dear madam. Then, what if the incident were to occur in between the times? One could only say that would be a cruel test of fate. I must confess your devices have been giving me some causes of distress of late. I beg your pardon, Mr. Winniebank. Surely they are anything but distressing. Reassuring is the word. It's the cost of a film, sir. You most graciously placed not one but two cameras in my shop after all, which means I must pay for an eye on 100 utterly useless prints every single day. I'm afraid the cost of a film will break me before I'm very much older. Nevertheless, a small price to pay to ensure the safety of my preferred pawnbroker, you know? My dear fellows, we verge on an age where safety and security come at a price. Oh, heaven help us! Okay, can we leave a small talk now? Now then, Mr. Sholmes, allow me to return your precious violin. Wow, that looks nothing like the viola we currently have. How did you even mistake them? The color's not even the same. Ah, the very thing. Thank you, Mr. Winniebank. Perhaps this might mark the end of the peculiar items you try to palm. Because if anything were to happen to one of them, this would be the only answer. I really think you ought to stop waving that gun around. Someone could get hurt. Fear not. Sorry? I've only loaded a single bullet, so no one but myself could possibly be harmed. That's not really what I meant. Good day to you then, Mr. Winniebank. It's been a pleasure as always, Mr. Sholmes. We're just going to leave. So, Mr. Nanado? Now we can explore at last. Oh no, please don't break anything. Alright, let's explore this stuff, I guess. There's a camera, I guess. Look at this, whatever could it be used for? I have no idea. There's a small catch here, look. We're going to open it, aren't we? Oh my, that's amazing. It has some sort of spring-loaded mechanism. Which we'll never manage to put back the way it was before. What are you two doing? What? Us? Nothing. No, nothing at all. Whatever this device is, it seems to have a pair of little windows to look through. Appears to have seen something rather similar to this elsewhere. That's not a calendar you could easily miss, is it? 15 April, today's date. Yes, that's not for sale, I must point out. It's an Eastern-style page-a-day calendar. Every night at midnight, I tear off the front page to reveal the following day's date. The perfect calendar for a dear fellow such as yourself, Mr. Winniebank. And who was it who walked out of here with the wrong violin before? Well, when the agreed storage period has passed without repayment, articles are forfeited, you see. So I have to keep a close eye on the dates. It's something of a pawnbroker's obsession, you might say. Oh yes, I can see you're very dedicated to your job. Now, what do you suppose this rather enormous machine does? It seems to have two little windows for looking through. Allow me to enlighten you, my dear fellows. What you're looking at is a stereoscope. Fascinating. It is aptly named, I assure you. You look through the eyepieces and see for yourself. Oh, I should be delighted to. Excuse me a moment, but just have a look. Just before you do, there's something I should point out. My dear fellows, in order to see the image properly, stereoscopically, as it were, you will need to be cross-eyed. However, that is beyond you. It is of little consequences today. Okay. Alright then, I'm going to try it. Okay, sure. Do what you want. Sonado, you must see. At once. Alright then. So I need to be cross-eyed like I'm trying to look at my own nose. Okay. 2 images. Oh, is it like a 3D effect? What the? I don't believe it. It's just a photographic print, but it seems like you could reach out and touch it. Yes, the sense of death is startling, is it not? Stereoscopes are one of London's many fads. They are often found in little stores in the park. People queue for hours to see them. Why? Why are people meddling with such black magic? Why wouldn't they? It's entertainment! It is no magic, my dear madame. It is, well, far too complicated to explain at present. We shall save this lesson for another day. Just say it's science! Oh. Okay, oh god. There's even more, huh? What an assortment of things there are on these shelves here. Crockery, footwear, clocks, watches, almost anything you care to imagine. Both are forfeited items offered for sale by the pawnbroker. What does that really mean, though? When you pawn or colloquially pop an item, the broker loans you money against its worth. He stores the item for an agreed period of time, after which the loan must be repaid. If not, he's free to display it in his shop for sale at a price of his choosing. Oh yes, now that you explained, I'm noticing a little price tags on everything. Of course, simply by paying the agreed interest on the loan, one can extend the period of safekeeping. So you may pawn the black garb of yours without fear, my dear fellow. My treasured university uniform? Never, it embodies my student spirit. Well, we're not students anymore, we are doing our job, you know? Look at this, what could this lovely big shiny box be? That, my dear madame, is a music box. Surely you have such things in your own country. Oh my, yes, but I've certainly never seen one so large before. Shall we listen a while? Oh, it's a nice melody. Ah, what a sublime sound. It's like the music of angels. Oh, that's a kind of exaggeration, but sure. I've never had anything like it before in my life. This particular specimen is of a larger variety, commonly found in public houses and restaurants. There's a metal disc inside on which the notes to be played are recorded. Simply by replacing the disc with another, any music you care to imagine can be played. My goodness, what a simply delightful machine! Indeed, though their popularity has waned recently with the development of gramophone, of course. Science and technology advance at such an overwhelming pace. Oh, you're right about it. What? Only 2 pence for it? That ain't fair, you know it. The article is barely worth a penny, miss. I cannot offer more. What happened? Sounds like there's an argument brewing up by the counter. Come on, that can't be right. Have you ever had a proper butcher's at it? I've seen all I need you to see you, young girl. Oh, it's her! Wait, don't we know? I'm sure I recognize her. Oh yes, it's the young lady from Mr. McGill's trial 2 months ago. Hey, the cute one. Gina Lestrade. Yes, a pickpocket. A proud one at that. Hey, Gina. Gordon Bennett, you lot. Please calm down. Hello, Miss Lestrade. I hope you have been well. What? You remember the event, do ya? Well, I remember being completely surrounded by smoke, that's for sure. So what are you doing here? Down and out like the rest of us? Nothing to eat? Come to pop that black Weezer sorry coat area? What is it about this black uniform that makes everyone comment on it? Probably because it's completely black and looks like a funeral suit. Ah, good day, unless I'm much mistaken. You would be the young pickpocket who stole our experimental smoke grenade launcher. Mr. Sholmes! So, you have something of value to pawn, do you? Allow me to see the article and I shall negotiate with Mr. Windybank on your behalf. Who we are one? I don't need no help from some stuck-up D. Get out of my business, go on and I'll make some trouble for you. As you wish, Miss Lestrade. I will happily remove myself from your presence. I guess we can stay? He's really done it, he's gone. I'm sorry, but as I said, there's really no room for negotiation here. What is that thing he has in his hand? Some kind of Methodist? And you, go on, leave me alone! Oh, Miss Lestrade, just pretend we aren't here. You shan't be offended in the slightest. She's being so friendly towards her. The Soto-san can really stand her ground when she wants to. Whatever. Oh well, we're alright, so let's talk. Somehow I didn't really think you were the sort of person who would use a pawnbroker, Miss Lestrade. Yeah, well I am, alright? I'm a Londoner, just like everyone else. That a problem, is it? No, not at all, it's just that, well... Oh, I get it, I know what you're thinking. That thing probably don't even belong to her. Probably got in the dive, didn't she? Yeah, I can see it written all over your Chevy Chase. Well, I might have been thinking something along the lines, maybe? You're not going to deny it, Mr. Naruto? I'm an honest guy, okay? Alright then, I'm just going to come out and ask you straight. Do you pawn things that you steal from other people? Well, I don't know how the best answer that really, that's a yes. Suppose sometimes? You're not going to deny it either, Miss Lestrade? But not this time, alright? I swear, that thing belongs to me. But this is what Mr. Windybank's holding. First we should see what he has to say about all this. I guess we have to examine him. So, about the disc. Going by the pattern, I would have guessed it's some kind of music disc, but I wouldn't know how it works. Maybe for a very big instrument or something. Mr. Windybank, what exactly is this method disc that Miss Lestrade has brought in? It seems to 100 of tiny little bumps under the surface. Ah, with the music disc, you see, for use inside a music box. Oh, it really is a music disc from the music box. I was right. In the music box? What, you don't even know what the music box is? You used a lot then to save, yeah? I know what a music box is, I've just never seen one of these discs before. With small with small protrusions of a metal disc and code were tuned to be played on by the music box. You simply insert the disc and set the machine going, and beautiful music plays. That does sound nice. Incredible, Taz, what tune is on this disc? Well, I'm afraid I couldn't tell you that. There's so many different types of music box, you see. British made, German, Swiss. I have no way of knowing which particular machine this disc was made for. Ah, I see. And that's it in a nutshell. I wouldn't have any customers for an item like this even if the young lady forfeited it. Really, I'm already offering more than I should at the penny. That's a packet of lies. He told me he did. He said it was, well... He? Who? Mr. McGilded, maybe? Never you mind, it just ain't right, that's all. But that is worth good money, I know it is. Oh, then you'll have to try your luck at another pawnbroks, won't you? Ugh. So, you know something about her? She's been before, of course, this little tatterdemon. I see, and brought some dubious article or other with her every single time I met that. Dubious? What are you trying to say? I'm an honest customer, me. You bring stuff you stole! So, is there something dubious about the disc she bought in today? Oh, if only it were that simple. Sorry? What do you mean? What she actually brought in was a storage ticket. Ah, a storage ticket, so... Mr. Stud has actually come to redeem an art ticket from you today, is that right? Yeah, that's right. A girl like me has a lot of stuff what needs storing. I guess she doesn't have a safe place where she can put stuff. Alright, yes, that's definitely dubious. The article in question would have been forfeited at midnight tonight, but as she gave me the ticket for it and repaid both the loan and the interest, I was obliged to return the article to her. But what was the article? Do tell us, Mr. Windybank. The little scamp is wearing it, ma'am. It's the overcoat that she redeemed. Oh. What's wrong with that? Fits, don't it? I mean, it's mine, so of course it does. So it's not yours. So what about the disc then? How does that come into all this? Ah, the disc is something else. A new article to pawn, the girl and I can agree a price. If we can agree on the price. I'm confused. I thought you said that Mr. Strahd brought in a storage ticket today. Really quite simple. Yes, the child brought me a storage ticket, the money I owed on it, as you say. For this heavy black coat which you returned to her care, as I understood. That's right, yes. And rather unsurprising, as soon as the little ragamuffin put the thing on, she went riffling through her pockets. Oh, you mean? What? Don't you know it's rude to stare at the lady? Oh, you're a kid to me. I see, so it came from the pocket of her overcoat, did it? If you mean with this one, yes, exactly, ma'am. And she immediately tried to pawn it. For quite a high price as well. This is all rather suspicious, I think. Give it up, I'm just trying to pawn something like anyone else would. Right. We don't have a picture of him anymore, do we? Of Mr. McGilded. This might be his, you know, jacket. Miss Lestrade, may I ask who deposited the overcoat here in the first place? Well, me. It doesn't really appear to be your size. Me, old man, It's me, old man, and it... Is it Miss Lestrade? Yes, it's definitely all rather suspicious. Out of my way, please! Who? Wow, that's some fancy-pantsy guy. Who's this picture postcard English gentleman? Wow, he's really the picture postcard, huh? Good day to you, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies, gentlemen. What's your problem, eh? There's no problem as long as you remove yourself. I have a matter to discuss with a proprietor. I don't think that's how you should be sounding like. And if you intend to make a problem of it, I shall see you outside, little girl, for however hiding you deserve. Look, ain't it obvious? I ain't done talking with him yet. You think you're such a gent? You should know how to wait in line. Well, you are an impudent little brat, aren't you? As well as a pickpocket. Eh? Who are you? And how do you know who I am? Who wouldn't know? You weren't Kurt and confessed that. The question is, how do you not know who I am? You haven't the courtesy even to remember the faces of your victims, it seems. What? You mean I? From you? Broker? Yes, sir? I believe this filthy pocket thief has just redeemed an arc ticket from you, no? Yes, Oh, it's his, huh? The article in question belongs to me. I demand for it to be returned at once. Oh my. Now that's a lie. What are you trying to pull? Give me back my overcoat, you wastrel, and needless to say. What is that? Position. Any music box. This too. No, you can't have it. You just can't. Me old man's. Or it was, now it's mine. Goodness, Mr. Naruto. This is a very awkward situation. Yes, it's a very awkward situation. Indeed it is. Yes, I think perhaps we should hear both sides of the story in a little more detail, I guess. So, tell me your side. Miss Lestrade is what the gentleman is saying. You think it all lies, ain't it? Obviously. I saw my life, I ain't never laid eyes on that dandy before. Let's hear it now, you little ragamuffin. You stole it, didn't ya? The ticket you brought in here just now. No, I swear to God. It was barely an hour ago I was walking along the street minding my own business. And this little gutterling ran into me. I knew at once what had happened. I've been robbed yet again, I thought to myself, those wretched pickpockets. Yet again? Oh yes, as you can see, I'm a man of impeccable style. This isn't the first time I've ever been targeted by these backslum scoundrels. Right. Now then, relinquish my overcoat. Come along now, Mr. Lestrade, give a good gentleman a skull pack. If you're going to cause trouble, I shall have no choice but to call the police. Hold on! Why is everyone thinking it's me? Just look at this dandy coat and you think I'm the dodgy one? Well, she's right about that. Sorry, but no one's going to believe you. I'm going to believe in her. Well, what about evidence? Yeah. Where's the evidence that I've stolen something, huh? Come on, let's see it. Oh. I have evidence, naturally. You what? Yeah, yes? How? How would you have evidence if something got stolen from you? Evidence that the article Mr. Lestrade redeemed actually belongs to this gentleman. Of course, we need only consult Mr. Windybank's ledger to know the truth. We'll be able to look up the name of the person who deposited the article in the first place. Yes, brilliant! I'm very sorry, but I'm afraid that won't be possible. Oh. I never ask customers' name, that's a strict policy of mine. But why not? Well now, as you can imagine, some of my customers have circumstances to consider. A great many of them prefer to maintain their anonymity. Yes, I see. But then how can you know if an article belongs to the person asking to redeem it? Oh, it's quite simple. Good sir. I might not trouble you for the watchword associated with the article in question. Of course, it's... Professor. Yes, that's right. And all the evidence we need. This gentleman is the rightful owner of the article without doubt. Watchword? Interesting. So, about these watchwords, Mr. Windybank. As I just explained, I never ask customers' names when they deposit items with me. There are many reasons why. Certain customers would like to keep their activities secret. That wasn't exactly a subtle glance at Mr. Shelps now, was it? Great detectives have no dark secrets, none at all. Yes, well, anyway, that's why I always ask for a watchword whenever I accept a new article. In many ways, it's like a secret combination of the numbers used to unlock a vault. The date of deposit, the description, and watchword are uniquely to identify each item. And, of course, when I give a storage ticket to the customer. When someone comes to redeem something, I ask for the ticket and the watchword. And if that someone tells you the correct watchword, you return the article? That's right, sir. Yes, just as soon as the requisite fee is paid. And I have supplied you with the information you require already, but for avoidance of doubt, the article in question is an overcoat deposited 2 months ago on 15th February. With the watchword of Professor. All perfectly correct information, sir. But ow! Really, this is beyond a joke now. There's no further room for doubt. Ugh. This is kind of weird. Let's talk with a weird guy. Excuse me, but who are you? Uh-oh. One would expect the inquirer to introduce himself first. Well, clearly you are not British, so perhaps our ways are foreign to you. Oh, sorry, yes, we're from the Empire of Japan. We're studying here. Oh, yes, Japan. I've heard talk of the place. What the fuck is that? Its inhabitants live on some fire brown colored soup, dressed up with exotic spices? You might be thinking of somewhere else, and what was that theatrical gesticulation about? Perhaps, anyway, if you're a gentleman, sir, you offer your own name first before inquiring after the name of another. Of course, yes, I'm Ryunosuke Naruto. I'm a lawyer. Well, I'm a student of law, actually. My name is Susato Mikotoba. I'm Mr. Naruto's assistant. I see. My name is Benedict. Yes. Eggert Benedict. That doesn't sound convincing. Enchanté. He's so refined in how he holds himself and how he speaks, but that name is suspicious. Now to the matter at hand. What the fuck? My overcoat, return it at once to someone with the style to carry it off. Every move he makes, every breath he takes, I can't stand watching him. I totally agree with you. It's his size for sure. So, let that be an end to the matter. And thank you for your custom, Mr. Eggert Benedict, sir. Oh my god. With such unreasonable rates of interest, I may have even decided to come back. This is why I hate grown-ups. That's because I'm a diver. Everyone thinks that makes me a liar. And the content of the coat pockets, if you please, broker. But of course, sir, here's the disc for you. Just this one? Pardon, sir? I was expecting another, that is, I just deposited another. Another disc? Oh dear. I regret to inform you, sir, that was deposited with me was merely the overcoat. This happened to be in one of our pockets, but I was completely unaware of it until now. So, Guttling, you're hiding more of what's rightfully mine, are you? Says who, eh? I don't know nothing about it. Very well. And I shall bid you farewell. Say goodbye to style. Wait a minute, that disc. It's mine. Now, what do you think you're doing, you little tramp? You've drawn blood, you filthy animal. Oh my, yes. There's blood on the disc. It's because of all those sharp little bumps. A man must have scratched his finger on them. I found it first, alright? I mean, it belonged to me, old man. So you're not having it. Or you take it. Me? Bang onto it, they'll have it off me again. So keep hold of it. Mr. Lestat, why is this death so important for her? Sure. You there in the black livery. Hand this to me at once. No, don't! It's lying. Grown-ups are all liars. Well, I'm kinda also a grown-up, just so you know. What do I do now? How am I going to resolve this? Well, first we should check the evidence. Wow, these really are sharp. Look at all the little bumps and they're so tiny. Oh, the protrusions are called pins and they pluck the teeth of a comb to make notes. Oh, so that's how it works. Yeah, that makes sense. And just on the edge there's a small amount of blood. Yes, the blood of mysterious Mr. Eggert Benedict. And Mr. Star tried to grab the disc from him, the pins scratched his fingers, it seems. Like when you're grating some daikon radish and accidentally catch your finger. Ouch! Just thinking about it hurts. And puts me off eating radish. I knew it. It belongs to Mr. McGilden. Oh, there's a little scrap paper stuck on the reverse side of a disc. Look. And a scribbled word or two. It looks like somebody's name. For McGilden, huh? Oh, McGilden. Oh my god, I forgot that they have voices. McGilden, it couldn't be. But it is Mr. Naruto. A name I shall never forget for as long as I live. But why? Why is his name on this? Because it's probably his code. Well, that explains quite a lot that it doesn't belong to either of you. Let's try talking to her first. Come on, Gina, don't look so pouty, even though you look kinda cute. Well, Miss Lichard is really looking daggers at that mysterious gentleman. We need to do something to calm things down before she loses control and attacks him again. Some help here? Mr. Sholmes, what are you examining with such keen interest there? It looks like chocolate bar. Are you enjoying a bar of caramel? Ah, as you enjoy a bar of caramel, I see. What's wrong, Sholmes? So you found me at last, Mr. Naruto. Sorry? After that young pickpocket sent me on my way, I was forced to look in the shadows. Cruelly ostracized as the rest of you partook in the jovial atmosphere of fellowship. I had nothing to occupy my mind, but was too ashamed to let society see what my downfall had done to me. Still feigning mock interest, I pretended to examine the tedious trinkets in this desolate place. But, as you shrewdly observed, gnawing on the only friend I have left, the 7% solution of caramel. Hey, do you claim to understand the depths of my despair, Mr. Naruto? How could you? I was so lonely, so desperately lonely. Then why on earth did you rejoin the conversation? Things have gone from bad to worse here, you know. Oops, sorry. Yes, I overheard much of your conversation, or rather, in my craving for human contact, my ears devoured every word that was uttered. You already craved for it? You really were sad, weren't you? Poor Mr. Sholmes. Oh, I feel so awful for you. It would seem that my interference are correct. Oh, surely you're not about to tell us that you solved the entire case at once again. Again? My dear madame, sometimes I wonder were my genius for deduction to be commoditized. How much could I pawn it for? It seems Mr. Sholmes has had another of his flashes of inspiration, but who knows if it will help us to resolve the situation between Mr. Strahd and the finest mysterious gentleman. What's the right thing to do here? Yes, we gotta listen to it. Is it time for the dance? Well, Miss Lestrade, it would appear you find yourself in something of a predicament. Where the BlueEXE have you been, eh? You chased him away. Pardon? When the lady's in trouble, true trend's supposed to be there to help. Straight away, not an hour later. Harsh. This coat is strangely his size, but it shouldn't be his. And who, pray tell, are you? Wait, he doesn't know him? Mr. Agatha Benedict. You have in my eyes a veritable encyclopedic area of curiosities about your person. Nevertheless, there are two immovable conclusions I have drawn. I beg your pardon. The first is this. The true reason for your visit to this pawnbroker today is something you have not yet revealed. And the second is this. A considerable crime is in contemplation, one you orchestrate with intent to steal a vast sum of money. Well, Mr. Benedict, what say you to my deductions? Ow! He's turned as white as a hard-boiled egg. It would seem that once again, Mr. Sholmes has made a flawless deduction. Just who do you think you are, sir? Ah, yes, as I hoped. That is precisely the pain expression I was looking for. So, shall we begin? The time has come for yet another Sherlock Sholmes logic and reasoning spectacular. Great. It's been a while. First of all, we must ask yourself on what business you ventured onto this pawnbrokery today. You claim to have followed this pickpocket here, having had redemption tickets stolen from you on the street. But that is most certainly a lie. The real truth is something quite different. As revealed by that which you hold in your hand. Yes, what brought you to the shop in the first place is the staff recruitment flyer? That piece of paper in your hand is the staff wanted advertisement from his very shop. Yet even the most unobservant would soon realize that a man of your appearance has no such need of employ. In other words, there's some ulterior move for your actions. You just threw it away. The cane which you unwittingly clutched to your person exhibited an incontrovertible contradiction. A.G. I see his name, huh? What utter rot! I've had this cane for years. The contradiction of which I speak of is, of course, the missing ferrule. No, it's the name! The end of any walking cane would be terminated with a metal ferrule to protect the wooden tip. And yet detailed analysis show the wooden tip of the stick to be utterly bare. Therefore, there's only one conclusion. The rod that you hold in your hand, which appears to be a walking cane, is in fact no cane at all. So it really is not a cane. You recall, sir, is something wrong? In your recall, you inadvertently facilitate the answer of your next conundrum to present itself. Namely, what is the truth behind this rot, you beer? Yes, your reaction betrays the truth. The handle which you evidently would like to conceal is the key to understanding this riddle, you see. From the moment I saw it, my suspicions were aroused. What walking cane demands such a stout candor, mused I. It's a sword, isn't it? But of course, as I said, this is no walking cane. No, that rod. Is the broken handle of a shovel? What? Are you insane? And now, having determined this undeniable truth, the conclusion is clear. Your true motive for coming here was to take employment at this establishment in order to excavate the ground beneath the premises. What calculated crime you have conceived, sir? A wickedly calculated crime. No, you idiot, you got so many details wrong. What is wrong with you? But wow, we already know the criminal beforehand, huh? That's interesting. Now, Mr. Benedict, let us continue. For we must expose the details of this elaborate crime you have been planning. This is utterly absurd. You suggest that I, a gentleman, intend to excavate the ground beneath a pawnbroker with a broken shovel? What on earth do you propose I could expect there? Some long-forgotten treasure, I suppose? Stay for such a fanciful theory. What possible reason could I have to do as you say? Oh, but there's the end of the reason. As you are only too well aware, Mr. Benedict. Ah, and your furtive glance is more telling than I could have hoped. Let us consider what would motivate a man to infiltrate a shop such as this and covertly dig beneath its floor. The answer is revealed by the count's notice on the counter to which your eyes were inadvertently drawn. No, that's not it. This letter gives us notice of public works to be carried out in the local area. And according to the enclosed plan of the upcoming sewerage work, beneath the shop runs a sewer that joins another one, that runs under the bank on the opposite side of the road. This madness has entered the sewers now, has it? Actually, it's pretty impressive you notice all of that stuff. Well, you had a lot of time in the tent being excluded all this time, so maybe not. By excavating the ground beneath our feet, you would gain access to the waterway. It flows in very close proximity to the great vault of a financial institution opposite. What are you... In summary, sir, you devised a master plan to pull off an elaborate bank robbery by dint of the underground tunnels. Master plan? Which brings us at last to the final chapter of his lurid scheme. With what plunder did the thief hope to make off from the underground vault of a bank? Are you quite serious? Having consulted with Scotland Yard some days ago, I happen to know the answer. But naturally, the answer is no secret to you, is it, Mr. Benedict? I have no idea what you're talking about. Allow me to present a rather interesting piece of evidence. You see, this picture postcard tells us all we need to know. A postcard of a great exhibition? I'm afraid you've quite lost me there. Currently in the final stages of preparation, the great exhibition will soon be underway. And the government has provided extra funds to complete its centerpiece, the Crystal Tower. Funds that currently sit in the vault of the bank, on the other side of this road. Pardon? Yes, the considerable crime you have been contemplating is the theft of that which sits in the vault of that bank, the special reserve funds of a great exhibition. Of course, that is top secret police information, so keep it under your hat, please. You're a fucking idiot, you just told him the whole secret police thing. Yes, Sholmes, if this ever happens, then you're at fault at the very last. At the very least. Thus concludes Sherlock Sholmes' great deduction of his pawnbroking puzzle. You're an idiot! You're a real idiot! Yes. Mr. Sholmes? Well, Mr. Narado, an impressively upbeat deduction for a detective wrecked with loneliness, would you not agree? Oh yes, I could tell you were wrecked with loneliness. Was it true what you said about the bank of a road, what it has in its vault? Indeed, though few know of its existence, it is one of the government's most closely guarded secrets. Gregson told me in the strictest confidence. And you just told 3 other people, or rather 5. But you just announced it to everyone here, rather loudly in fact. And if it's such a big secret, how would Mr. Benedict have come to find out about it? There can be but one explanation for that. Clearly it's because the man is a criminal. But what if he didn't know anything about the money and the vault if he is a criminal as he said? When buying a brand new shovel is sure to be first thing he does now that you've revealed the secret. Oh. Or if he doesn't, maybe Mr. Windybank will. He already has plenty of shovels here after all. Oh my life, I assure you I'm not unscrupulous. Well, hopefully this has taught you a valuable lesson. Sensitive information must be handled with the utmost care. Oh yes, I have learned that you are stupid. One can never be sure that someone privy to secrets won't disclose them. And once the word is out, it's out. Perhaps I'll think twice before confiding in you next time, Mr. Sholmes. An excellent idea, Mr. Nardo. An excellent idea. It makes me cry. Well then, Mr. Nardo, you know what to do, I'm sure. Yes, let's listen to that great deduction again and see if we can massage it into shape. Very well then, let us start once more from the beginning. Of Herlock Sholmes' magnificent logic and reasoning spectacular. Yeah, let's do it. Hey, we'll just skip the text because I don't want to read it all again. You have claimed to follow the pickpocket. Yes. That's most certainly a lie. Blah blah. Yeah. Now comes the first failure point. So, by Mr. Sholmes' reasoning, Mr. Benedict came here in order to apply for a job, so he could dig down through the floor. Yes, indeed. Yes, and then attempt to tunnel into the sewers to gain access to the money in the vault of a bank across the road. But he wouldn't get very far with a broken shovel, would he? No, I think it's fair to say his modus lies elsewhere. Question is where? What did bring Mr. Benedict here at this particular point in time? Oh, there's something written there. I fucked up. I didn't check it. Yes. The fact that you written of course gonna prove my theory. No. This is probably the notes of Gina. And he found it, so he ran over here to take it for himself. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll save for first of all. In that case, perhaps there's something in this pawn shop that the man was looking for? Yes. Oh, look at all the scribbled notes on the back of a fly here. I don't believe it. What is it? Listen to what it says. Name Gina Lestrade, height 5'2". Green cap, scruffy waistcoat, grubby white shirt, blue satchel racked. It's a detailed description of Mrs. Lestrade. Goodness. There's even a sketch of her and her head and all. Although if you showed it to her, she'd fire that smoke grenade ash in his face for sure. And look, the details of his shop have been written down here too. Windybank's Pawnbrokery, Baker Street, redemption deadline 15th April. Which is today's date. Why would Mr. Benedict have all that information scored on the back of that piece of paper? Okay, this should be it, right? Now it's my show. Yes, what you brought you to this shop in the first place is... I should save. Just to be safe. Our first base is the info about Miss Lestrade. Quite so, my dear fellow. It would appear that the writing and scratch on the reverse of a flyer pertain to the pickpocket Miss Lestrade and to Mr. Windybank's pawnbroker here. Heh. Gotcha. You originally told us that you had merely given chase after Miss Lestrade stole the redemption ticket from you. But that's a thinly veiled lie. It is the information on the back of a flyer that led you here today, by which I mean here to Windybank's pawnbrokery, and today the redemption deadline of that overcoat. So you waited outside for the young girl matching the description you have written down to arrive. And you have gone to some lengths to hide the reasoning for your pursuit, Miss Lestrade. In other words, there's some ulterior motive for your actions. The cane which you unwittingly clutch on your person exhibits an incredible contradiction. What utter rot I've had with... Oh yeah, right, we already had this conversation. No, it's not the end, you idiot. What's a ferrule? It's a metal cap commonly found at the end of a cane, Mr. Nardo. Ah, the bit that makes the nice clacking sound on the pavement. Yes, exactly, and Mr. Sholmes is right. It appears to be missing on his cane. But it doesn't actually look broken, does it? No, it doesn't, though the gentleman certainly did recall when Mr. Sholmes identified the cane as suspicious. In other words, there's some secret about the cane that Mr. Benedict would ever... we don't know. And we're here to find it out. So the first suspicious thing is obviously the name. The initials. AG. Which certainly doesn't stand for Benedict. Look here, Mr. Sato. There's some letters on the handle. Ah, yes. Those must be initials, I think. In the West, it's customary for people to engrave their belongings with the first letters of their names. So Herlock Sholmes would be HS, you mean? That's right. And the initials on the skin, obviously... Oh! AG? Why does this feel as well? That's not quite right. Anything else on this cane? I don't think so, to be honest. Missing ferrule, huh? Well, we won't use that, so... let's use that. The contradiction of which I speak is, of course, the initialing. A most astute observation, wouldn't you say, Mr. Eggert Benedict? It would be EB, huh? Well, let's believe, sir, that your initials are EB. Yet in most possessive manner, you have in your grasp a cane bearing the initials AG. An incontrovertible contradiction indeed, would you not agree? No, you're wrong. This cane isn't. You said before that you had that cane for years. So don't try to ask that you just borrowed it from a friend or found it in the park. In short, though you hold yourself to be a gentleman as you have withheld your true name. What was that noise? Eureka, sir, is something wrong. And in your recall, you inadvertently facilitate the answer of the next conundrum to present itself. Namely, what is the truth behind this rotty beer? Yes, your reaction betrays the truth. The hand of which you eventually would like to... well... Let's consider the bare bones of what's happening. Mr. Lestrade redeemed a fine-looking overcoat. And now a mysterious man has appeared introducing himself with a fake name. It's also weird indeed. And claiming that the overcoat belongs to him. But we know that he actually identified Mr. Lestrade from a written description. which suggests that everything else he's told us is untrue. So what we need to do here is somehow prove that the overcoat cannot possibly belong to him. Overcoat, huh? We have the handle, okay. Oh! 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 It's too small, is it? Oh, the seam of the shoulder here there is coming apart, look. So it is. Do you know, a moment ago, when Mr. Benedict was surprised by something that I said? I thought I heard him make a rather strange noise. It sounded a bit like a tiny growl. But now that I think it was probably the sound of the seam ripping open. If you look closely, it does seem to be a very tight fit. Sleeves are stretched into bursting, and he wouldn't have hope of fastening it at the forefront. If he were to run around in it, I'm sure the whole thing would fall apart. Now that's what I wanted to see. That I would like to see. You too? Sorry? So how can we make Mr. Benedict run around? She's really giving me some fodder. Well, anyways, we can use that. The split scene which you evidently would like to conceal is the key to understanding the riddle, you see. Yes, because the overcoat is rather obviously a poor fit. Having forced it over your broad shoulders, the seam is already breaking apart. My suspicions were aroused from the outset. When you so boldly lied about your name and so boldly waylaid this pickpocket. This catalogue of untruths has all been for one very specific purpose. To steal the article that the young girl redeemed from Mr. Winniebank. Or at least she will get the overcoat back now. But what really irks me is this. A considerable crime I initially imagined has been considerably curtailed. Heh. Nice going, partner. Now let's find out the great crime. Now, Mr. Benedict, let us continue. For we must expose the details of this elaborate crime you have been planning. This is utterly absurd. You suggest that yeah, we already had that. Wait, is that something new? Oh yeah, it's something new. Whoops. Let's read it out loud again. History. This is utterly absurd. You suggest that I, a gentleman, designed a wheeze to filch some tawdry article of polish? Have you forgotten that I redeemed the article in the proper manner using the watchword? Had it not been the one it deposited in the first place? How could I possibly have known the relevant details? Ne sais pas. Why are they speaking French in, you know, London? Oh, but the watchword can be discovered. As you're only too well aware, Mr. Benedict. Oh, and your furtive glances is more telling than I could have hoped. What? Let us consider how one might come to learn a secret watchword relating to the pawned property of another. The method is revealed by the council notice on the counter to which... Okay, this is wrong. It's probably a big book, isn't it? The direction of the deduction must change rather dramatically now, I think. Yes, no more talking of tunneling onto the sewers. Which is a pity because it all sounded rather exciting. Anyway, you can't deny that this mysterious gentleman did know the watchword. Yes, Professor. If you didn't know that word, Mr. Winniebank would never allow you to redeem the article. Or looking at it another way, if you didn't know that word, Mr. Winniebank would allow you to redeem the article whether it was yours or not. So the question is, could this gentleman have found the watchword out somehow? Notelet. Look at this, Mr. Sato. Ah, it appears to be a memo that Mr. Winniebank has scribbled for himself. Let's see, what does it say? Oh, Professor. Mr. Winniebank must make a note of when watchwords his customers give him right before their eyes. And an alarmingly clear script as well. Oh dear, I don't know where to look. Who knows what other secrets I might see? Oh yeah, that would be a problem, huh? Well, that's probably it. The method is revealed by the notelet on the counter to which your eyes were inadvertently drawn. Yes, the broker here follows the same procedure whenever a customer comes to redeem an article. He asks the customer for the watchword and notes down the response uttered on a notelet he has at hand. Then he consults his ledger and confirms whether or not the watchword matches that of the article in question. I would expect nothing less of a diligent pawnbroker. But his diligence clearly has its disadvantages. What are you talking about? It is increasingly apparent that you were present in this shop before your accusation against Miss Lestrade. In all likelihood, you followed her inside and then observed her talking to Mr. Winniebank. When the diligent broker made a note of the watchword as his common practice, you observed him writing the word Professor on the notelet beside the ledger. And that, sir, was the master plan you devised to steal the pawned article from a young Miss Lestrade. Master plan? Which brings us to at last to the final chapter of this lurid scheme. Why would you go to such lengths to redeem that particular article from this pawnbroker? Are you quite serious? For an ill-fitting overcoat hardly seems to justify the effort, much less a worthless music box disc. But naturally, you had a very good reason to make them yours, didn't you, Mr. Benedict? I have no idea what you're talking about. Allow me to present a rather interesting piece of evidence. Yeah, we can just ignore that for now. Articles we're talking about are the overcoat and the music box, because that was in one of the pockets. Which, according to Mr. Winniebanks, isn't even worth a penny. And yet this man went to such lengths to steal them. Why? I wonder if perhaps we already have evidence we need to explain it, Mr. Naldo. Could we? Really? I'd better have a thorough look at all the evidence we've collected so far. We already have it. But we should save. Just to be safe, you know? You can never be sure enough. You see, this music box disc tells us all we need to know. What's that on the back? It reads, for Mr. McGilvert. Ah, Mr. Magnus McGilvert, the unfortunate philanthropist who perished in curious circumstances at the Old Bailey 2 months ago. A prominent man in London, though his lawn-mongering demonstrated a distinct lack of scruples. So, you're an associate of his, aren't you? Or are you perhaps a subordinate? Mr. McGilvert was a man of unusually small stature. In fact, he was precisely the right size for that overcoat that you've squeezed yourself into. Your true identity remains shrouded in mystery, Mr. Eggert Benedict. It's a food. Egg Benedict. But the final conclusion here is crystal clear. The reason you came to this pawnbroker today was to retrieve an article left behind by the late Magnus McGilvert. Well, at least he's elegant in getting hit too. Can we get the coat back, please? I do believe it belongs to Gina. A wonderful dance partner. Elementary. Indeed. Now give it back. Well, Mr. Magnus McGilvert. Not a name I expected to hear in these circumstances. Now give it back. It's not yours. Mr. Sholmes, I'm afraid there's something very troubling on my mind. Pray tell, Mrs. Sato. Well, according to what Mr. Midneybank told us earlier, today was the final day on which the code could have been redeemed, was it not? Yes, ma'am, that is correct. Today would be precisely 2 months since it was first deposited. Well, today is 15 April, so 2 months ago today would have been 15 February, sir. That's right. It's all carefully recorded in my ledger. Deposit at 10:30 p.m., I see. What? But that suggests... Yes, Miss 15 February is precisely the day on which the omnibus murder took place. And 10:30 in the evening. It's precisely the time at which the terrible events were unfolding. Suggestive is not the word. It would seem that the matter is entirely beyond coincidence. You're of course at liberty to make whatever outlandish deduction you choose, however. I must insist you hand over the music disc. Now. It would be a terrible shame for you to return to your native land in a box. Ah, what do I do? Absolutely not! There's some things that a man must protect at all costs. This may well be one of those things. Then again, it may not. Mr. Windybank, this is my shop. I can't allow any harm to come to my customers. If that were to happen, I should have to take my own life. Please don't. Mr. Windybank, no, this... Alright, that's enough. Who's that? Gregson! You're here to save me! Inspector? That's right, Sunshine. The alarm was raised on one of our dedicated emergency lines. So we got here as fast as we could. Now what's all this about, eh? Praise be! You're here at last! I was moments away from forfeiting my own life in my own very own establishment. But seem you have the upper hand. Can I have the coat back? Oh, thank you. Frank, you lot, you've got some explaining to do. I don't appreciate being bothered with some pretty argy-bargy. Petty? Mr. Windybank's very nearly met his end. Well, yeah, by his own gun as far as I can tell. Oh dear. And the whole Britain could meet its end if I don't get to the bottom of the case I'm supposed to be working on. What on earth is the case, Inspector? Spare no detail, Gregson. I might have said a little too much. No matter, it's nothing to do with your lot. Anyway, sir, you're gonna have to come with me down to the station. But of course, Inspector. He just got elegantly kicked. Get after him, lads! Whistle the beat officer too! Sir! Gregson, that was kinda embarrassing for a police officer. There's been a spate of thefts at pawn shops around here recently. So we fitted emergency buttons underneath the counters for brokers to let us know when there's trouble. Oh, Inspector, I was very worried there for a while. Very worried indeed. Yes, I can see that. Now then, Mr. Permanently in Mourning. Oh, yes. I'll be taking whatever it is of Miss McGilded down to the yard. Thank you very much. So hand it over. Oh, yes, of course. No, don't give it to him. It's mine, that is, mine. I'm sorry, miss. But anything belonging to Mr. McGill has to be taken in as evidence now. As evidence? If the police demand something as evidence, my dear fellow, we have no choice but to copulate. It's all yours, Inspector. Grrr. Grrr. Oh, that was... something, I guess. And so we have handed Mr. McGill's disc over to Inspector Gregson, and summarily turfed out of the shop into the street. Well, that was something. I can tell that we are going into whatever happened in reality with Mr. McGiddard finally. Which is fitting. We'll finally see the true darkness of London. But we'll stop here for now. I think it's a good way to stop. Well, the pawnbroker looks really colorful from the outside. Yes, safe. So, thank you guys for watching. But next time, well, I don't know what will happen. But I guess next time we'll see the crime that will unfold in reality. And I hope, sincerely, that they won't use that stupid sewer technique to break into the bank like Holmes said. Because that would be, yeah, that would be entirely his fault, kind of. But yeah, we'll see. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see each other again next time. It was great to see the cute girl again, Gina Lestrade. Yes. I hope she will work with us now. It would be kind of nice. Yeah. So bye bye. Oh no, it's stuck. I can't add the stream again. I can't even send a message. Well, anyways, thank you. How do I end my stream? Hello? Help? OBS? Could you I don't know, work or something? Do something? Hello? Just pretend that it's already over. It's fine. Hopefully. It really doesn't want to work, huh? What am I supposed to do now? Do I just wait for it to work? Should I just close it?